Hello, everyone. This is Adam Meister, the Bitcoinmeister, the Disrupt Meister. Welcome to Today in Bitcoin. Today is January 24th, 2017. Thank you for the person who sent me Monero. You know who you are. Thank you. And thanks for the person who used my Coinbase affiliate code to set up their Coinbase account. We both get $10 in Bitcoin when you use that affiliate code of Coinbase. It's listed below in my notes section, so check that out. Speaking of Coinbase, Charlie Lee, he works for Coinbase. He came up with Litecoin, and he has an interesting tweet I noticed where he praises Monero. So interpret that as you may. Maybe it's just him giving his opinion. He seems like a real honest guy. I don't know if that's foreshadowing anything. I just thought I'd point that out. The link to that is below. There's also an interesting pro-segregated witness piece on medium.com that I found that I wanted to share. I think it gives a good, an easier explanation of what's going on with that if you don't fully understand, if you're not a technical person. That's below also. So let's talk about altcoins. I was thinking about altcoins today, and someone's got to do some research on this. How many altcoins that used to be listed in the top 10 on coinmarketcap.com, and I will link to that below, that just so you can check out the current top 600 and however many there are. How many of the former top 10 are now like are garbage or just worthless? I mean, think about that. So many in the top 10. There have been plenty. Quark, I can think of, was in the top 10 at one point, and now it's nothing. And I mean, the top 5 seems to be a little bit more reliable, and we'll get to that in a second. But some of these that are in the top 10 now, I mean, they could be nothing really fast. And it just shows how risky and how things change very fast in this crypto space, yet Bitcoin stays number 1. Now, in the top 5, of course, we have Litecoin. And Litecoin has also remained solid through the years. So interpret that any way you want to. But people out there why so many people love altcoins, and they'll admit it. They're looking for 100x returns on their money. They want to put $1,000 in and get $100,000 back in 2 months. And it's really tempting because you've seen examples of that sort of happening in rare instances. I mean, Bitcoin's price has gone insane from when it used to be a few pennies, and people want to be the next Bitcoin. People think it's going to happen again. And I think people in the cryptocurrency space, I think they're young, and they don't understand that when you make a traditional investment, in the stock market or whatever, with a house, if you get 2x or 3x or 4x returns, you're really happy. I mean, if your house goes up in value by four times, you buy a $100,000, $200,000 house, and in 5 years is worth $800,000. I mean, that's incredible. That's just incredible. And we've had bubbles with that too, but it wasn't even that crazy at some point. I mean, people want quick, easy fixes, and they're not patient. And Bitcoin is not a 2-month thing. Okay, if you're going to get involved in Bitcoin to make profits, don't think you're going to make profits after 2 months. It's not. There are no easy fixes with Bitcoin here. I mean, this is going back. This is a good segue to buy and hold. That is what I believe in. And this is kind of some of the beliefs that hold up my buy and hold Bitcoin orthodoxy that I preach. That, I mean, my crypto portfolio is Bitcoin basically. It's got little bits of Monero and Monero, Litecoin, Ethereum Classic, little bits here and there of those. I don't want to make it like I'm promoting those, but I guess I'll get into them in a second. I mean, ask yourself, what is safer for 2019? If you had $10,000 today, if you put $10,000 into Bitcoin, or you put $10,000 into NEM, which is currently the number 10, and I don't even know what that is hardly. That's the number 10 cryptocurrency right now. Put 10,000. What's going to happen to your $10,000 in Bitcoin by 2019? I mean, it could be worth $20,000. That would be nice, wouldn't it? Who knows? It could be worth $11,000. It could be worth $10,000. It could be, maybe it'd be worth $9,000 instead of $10,000. That wouldn't be great. You never know. Now, NEM, what are the chances that your $10,000 today that you put in the NEM in 2019, that it's going to be worth like $2? I mean, it's really possible that it'll be worth nothing, or $100, or or $1,000. I mean, something terrible. While you could have had your money in Bitcoin, and who knows what Bitcoin? Because a lot of people see these short-term blips, and they think, oh God, look how much this altcoin went up, and Bitcoin didn't go up that much over that same period of time. But if you look over a year period of time, Bitcoin totally rocked your altcoin. So playing around with altcoins wouldn't have made very much sense with most of them. And this is, with some of these altcoins, I mean, it's just about timing pumps and dumps and hoping you're not the greater fool, that you get out when people are dumping. I mean, and what's that really have to do with fundamentals? I mean, it has to do with gambling, basically, with a lot of these. And, we again, outside of top 5, 6, or 7, when you get to the top 20, the top 100, I mean, they're all equally as risky. What's the difference between number 20 and number 87 in some senses? I mean, it doesn't get, there's a big drop off really soon after your top tier altcoins. There's a big drop off after Bitcoin. Then you've got your top tier ones. And then you've got insanity, basically. And then you've got scams below insanity, which is another thing people have to look out for. So yeah, I'll link to coinmarketcap.com. So, but with altcoins, if you are a speculator, if you're a long-term speculator, not a guy who's trying to get in and out in 2 months, I mean, what you have to think is this. To make it like worth your while, I mean, first of all, you have to have money to spare. I cannot stress it enough. But can this altcoin really be worth 10 times what it's worth solidly in 2 or 3 years? I don't mean like a one-time spike. I mean this altcoin, based on fundamentals, based on the special things it can do, based on its community, based on the technology team behind it, based on that it's not a scam. Can it be, by the year 2019 or 2020, can it be worth 10 times than it is today? And that's a very tempting thing. So something like Litecoin and Ethereum Classic, which are priced low right now, you can imagine, especially Litecoin. Litecoin's what, $4 now? I don't even know. That it could be $40 in 2019. And the reason I mentioned Litecoin first is because it was $40 at one time. So it's proven it can be there before. Of course, it's had a gigantic drop off, but it has remained in the top 5 or 6 or whatever. It's different than the rest, a little bit. Ethereum Classic, again, could it go up by 10x? The way it could do that, if it becomes a new Ethereum, and if some of this if it continues with proof of work and the other one goes proof of stake, who knows? Ethereum Classic could. Dash and Monero and Ethereum, they're a little harder to imagine as 10x in a few years, because they're already worth a considerable amount. $14, $10, $12, whatever they're worth. Are they going to be worth over $100? I mean, I know some of you are going to be like, Adam, of course they're going to be worth over $120. Of course. I mean, but that's kind of, no one else has been there yet. No, but Bitcoin's the only one that's been, and don't give me that forget about the Zcash thing. Let's not talk about that. That excluding that little, whatever that was about. And Aurora coin, I don't know how high that got. But I mean, something to be solidly in the triple digits, solidly for a long time, for a month, 2, 3 months, 4 months, not some spike. And by the way, if you believe in the China paradigm that 90% or 95% of all Bitcoin activity is in China, then you should definitely speculate on Litecoin, because over there, Litecoin is traded at a lot of the exchange. Like, they don't have a lot of altcoins over there, from what I've been told, at the major ones, and maybe Ethereum. But Litecoin is respected there. There's a guy who posts here. Poliog, I think he uses his name, he puts his name as. He knows about China. He's been in China, and he says all the altcoins are like, they refer to in a derogatory manner, many people out there, except for Litecoin. So that's the end of my altcoin thing for today. Oh, no, it's not. I wanted to bring up Namecoin. And Bitcoinmeister had an interesting tweet where he said it was dead because it was no longer on Kraken, which it hasn't been for a while from what I believe, but they sent him a letter how he's got to have all his Namecoin off their exchange or they're taking it or something. So, and he said it is dead, and I'll post to this tweet, and people started arguing with him, well, like, what is the definition of a dead altcoin? Because Namecoin also is still on BTC-E. I don't know why. And Namecoin does do things, apparently. I don't know much about it. But what makes an altcoin dead? When can you really say this is dead? Because it's always, someone's always going to be mining it, maybe, and it's going to be listed for a while. Maybe a delisting from CoinMarketCap is when you become dead. But I don't know. Maybe then you're just rotting dead. When are you first dead as an altcoin? And this is an interesting concept. It doesn't matter much to me, but I guess it's just a philosophical thing. Kim.com, at long last, he tweets out what the heck was going on. His company was supposed to be listed on the Canadian Stock Exchange. That was going to be the big news. It was going to merge with another company or something. And it didn't happen. It didn't happen. There is no big news. There is no progress. Let's just wait and see what happens next here. No more. There's not going to be an update for Kim.com for a while. He says later in the year, big things later in the year for Mega Upload 2. Okay, I wish him. I'll link to an article and I'll link to a tweet. I'll also link to Tur's tweet, obviously, also that I mentioned above. All right, here's an article about, and I wish, obviously, I do want Mega Upload 2 to do well. I think it'll help Bitcoin if it really is what they say it's going to be. But I'll believe it when I see it. There's an article out about the Bitcoin network hash rate has doubled since October. Now, I'm no technical expert. I'm not into hash rates and all that. But the last line of the article I will link to is very reassuring. As Bitcoin's total hash rate increases, it becomes more difficult for a motivated adversary to pull off an effective attack on the network. Not that a motivated entity could do it now, but I'm glad that it is now harder than it was before, because maybe some of the fudsters that like to say it's going to get hacked, maybe they'll pay attention to that. Anyway, I'm Adam Meister, the Bitcoinmeister, the Disrupt Meister. Remember to subscribe to this channel, like this video, share this video. I post a new video here every day, people. So come on back, check out the archives, retweet this stuff. We got exciting things on the way. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed Today in Bitcoin.